So emergiTEL is a recruitment agency. Our core job is to match talent with employers' needs. So how emergiTEL is helping internationally trained professionals to find a meaningful job is through a very effective and customized approach. Our first step is always to get to know IEPs. This is very important because we want to match them and put them in an environment where they can put their best foot forward. And the value that emergiTEL brings is that we also have insight into our clients' environment, their culture. So this approach is not just one-dimensional, it's actually three-dimensional. So matching the technical skills, communication skills, and the cultural fit as well. And since we can be a bridge between the two sides, I think we are doing it in a very, very effective manner. So in my opinion, being in recruitment industry for about 10 years, the biggest hurdle for IEPs is to position themselves in front of the employer. And it could be through various stages. So the number one stage is presenting themselves in a resume. And we are naturally tend to incline to be very broader in our resume. And we try to put a lot of things in there. So if IEPs could take some time, take a deep breath and look into their strengths and sell it on the resume, as opposed to incorporating a lot of keywords to get the attraction of the employers, that would be the first thing that they could be doing well. Secondly is during the interview. That is the most important part. The trick that I would like to suggest is that try to align your strengths with employers' needs as opposed to just expressing your work experience. Because employers here are looking to see people who can spell things out for them and match their skills effectively to what they are looking for. It might include doing a homework before going to a company and then finding out what their needs are and matching their skills and highlight the value that they are creating. And the story doesn't stop here actually. Once you are into an employment, you need to look for upgrade your skills and go in your career path. So try to get a fit into the culture of the client that you're working in is also very important. So basically it comes down to positioning yourself very well according to your skills. So in terms of communication skills, what employers are looking for, and I can give you a bit more insight into it, literally it is assumed that it is a verbal and oral English communication skills, English language skills. In my opinion, being in the recruitment industry and having served the national clients like TELUS and Rogers, what I can say is communication skills is really applicable to comprehension, analytical skills, and being able to speak as per the audience, not just having a fancy vocabulary included in it. So when you're in a meeting, make sure that you're trying to address according to the audience and not just speaking according to your own views that you want to express, and be very articulate as well. And being in the IT industry, this becomes very, very important because IT skills usually tend to be more towards technical. So in summary, what I want to say is that go for the well-rounded personality as opposed to just being 100% on technical and not paying attention to your communication skills. So in terms of the trends in the IT industry, it's such a broad field that it's almost impossible to identify the trends. However, one important thing I want to point out is that IPs are mostly trained internationally. So they are coming from various regions into Canada. So they have been trained a bit into their own specific field. And generally in IT, we take three silos: design, development, and support. So I would encourage IEPs to research on their own to identify the trends. For example, if you are a developer, you develop IT applications, you need to identify yourself whether you're a front-end developer or a back-end developer. And even in front-end development, there are so many techniques. So take your time a bit, do the networking and try to understand where the industry is going. For me to be able to explain in a nutshell, it's very impossible, the trends. However, IPs are encouraged to go and research themselves and then understand what is the niche skill that is applicable to their area where they were trained back home. I think in my experience, having placed thousands of IT professionals into my client's environment, what I can emphasize on the fact is that IPs need to be well-rounded. They should try to be positioning themselves in a manner which is not just very technical oriented, because every employer is building their culture, their own organization, and they want people who not only know the knowledge at hand, but also can upgrade themselves to the upcoming technologies. So for IT folks, it becomes very important to have that well-rounded personality.